Hello and welcome to CNN News 18 Cricket Next. India just finished a very comprehensive win over Australia in the first ODI here in Mohali. I think plenty of positives for the Indian cricket team with suryakumar Yadav returning back to form, scoring that very fluent half century lower down the order. Gill, Rahul amongst the runs. Local boy Shubman Gill putting on a show for his home crowd. And most importantly, the man of the hour, the man of the day, Mohammed Shami picking those 5 wickets, striking at different stages of the game. I think a lot of boxes were ticked as far as the Indian cricket team is concerned. Australia would be a little disappointed. I think they were there. They were pretty much in the contest. They did make a comeback of sorts with the ball after they picked up wickets in quick succession. When we saw Ishan Kishan departing, a partnership was required, and that is exactly what KL Rahul and Suryakumar Yadav did lower down the order. As far as Australia is concerned, I think plenty of positives for them too. I think Zampa bowled with a lot of heart. Could have had at least one more wicket, but a couple of half chances just didn't go his way off his own bowling, and he was not able to complete those return catches. One of them was really kind of a tough half chance. But I think as far as batting is concerned, I think most of the batters did get their eye in. Inglis got a start, Labuschagne got a start, David Warner got a start, Steve Smith got a start, but I think it was just the kind of day where none of their batters could actually capitalize and convert those into big ones. So at the post-match presser today, Josh Inglis was there from the Australian camp, and our beloved Mohammed Shami was there from the Indian camp, where they spoke about this game, the pitch, the conditions, the heat, the dew, and what really went wrong for Australia and what went right for India. So before going to Josh Inglis, I'll just quickly brief you of what happened in that press conference which was done by Mohammed Shami. So Shami was at his non-expressive best, where he wouldn't actually, the expressions are such that you wouldn't read too much into what he's saying, but he was relaxed, he was happy. He had a decent time off from the game when he was not picked, when he was rested for the tour of West Indies and Ireland. So he did reveal at the post-match presser that he did ask the management and the coach for a break, because he had been playing non-stop cricket for 7-8 months. If we just roll it back, starting for the Border Gavaskar Trophy, then the multiple bilateral series he played in between, then also the IPL. So Shami was on the park non-stop, and his team actually played the final against Chennai Super Kings. So Shami has been on the road ever since then, and he then went on to play the WTC final versus Australia. So he was on the road, and that break did a world of good to him. Although he did make a very honest confession that he ends up practicing more at home than when he's with Team India, because he has the entire setup at his farm, where he stays. So there's a lot of open space. He has nets constructed there, so he keeps training there. So he's never switched off per se, and that completely reflected in the way he bowled today. And for him, when people asked him, one of the reporters asked him what's your success mantra, and he said that it's not complicating things. He continues to keep it very basic, good length, keep hitting good length, and just target top of off stump, and the wrist does all the magic for Mohammed Shami. And the way he was releasing the ball today, the upright seam, and the way the ball was just coming off his hand, it was absolutely beautiful. And he got the better of Steve Smith with the one which comes back in. Josh Inglis did say that there were signs of reverse. So there's an aircraft flying. Let's wait in the aircraft classes. Commercial flight. Let's give it a couple of seconds. Yeah. So Inglis did say that in the second half of the innings earlier in the day, the ball started to reverse a bit, and I think that was the phase where Mohammed Shami enjoyed a lot of control towards, in probably his third spell of the day. He ended up picking 3 wickets, just polished off the lower order, and completed his fifer, only his second fifer in ODI cricket. So he was a big positive for the Indian cricket team, and it just speaks volumes of the fact that even if Mohammad Siraj and Jasprit Bumrah are your sure shot starting 2 bowlers, there's a Mohammed Shami who's not just warming the bench, he's actually setting it on fire, because he was on song today, and it was a complete 5-star performance. Now, as far as Josh Inglis is concerned, he did play a very convincing little hand, a 40-odd, looked very aggressive, and that has been the mood as far as batting is concerned. Even yesterday, when he was batting in the nets against some left-arm local spinners from Chandigarh, from Mohali, he was looking very severe on them. getting onto the front foot, that positive intent to just go and look to score runs. So that was evident when he did come out to bat today as well, and that is something which he wants to do. He knows that in this part of the world it's more about playing spin, getting used to conditions, getting used to weather, and for him, for a player of his quality and a professional like him, he says it's more about making that little mental adjustment when you kind of move from Australia to India. There are format changes, and then there's a World Cup coming too. So I think that's what he said, and he said that he's looking at that mental shift when it comes to fine-tuning himself for the upcoming World Cup. So Australia are 1-0 down in the series now. The action moves to Indore. So Team India will be leaving tomorrow, if I'm not wrong, for Indore, and it's very unlikely that they'll have a practice session because that's the only period they can allow their body to cool, and we'll see more of it, more of the series, more of ODI cricket, more of intense cricket day after tomorrow from Indore. The two teams last played in Indore during that test match of the Border Gavaskar Trophy, where an absolute minefield was on display. The ball was turning this much. I did cover that test match, and it was over in the blink of an eye. So we hope that that isn't the case, and the typical Indore wicket where there are a lot of runs on offer, historically, is put on display, and we expect a good contest between bat and ball, and eyes will continue to be around Ravichandran Ashwin. 10 overs, 47 runs, 1 wicket was the performance today. He looked good in the second spell. Looked slightly, I would say, out of touch and out of rhythm when he bowled those first 6 overs. Conceded 36 runs, plenty of half trackers there. Slightly full to someone like Steve Smith, but I think he did find that right length and had that loop and the flippers going in his second spell, where he just conceded, I think, 11 runs of the last 4 overs. So more game time, I'm sure, will allow management to make that Ashwin call, because a certain Suryakumar Yadav, who already had backing of coach Rahul Dravid and the entire team management, has actually cemented his spot now, and the spot wasn't going any which way. But even if the management would have thought of having Ashwin in place of the extra batter which Surya is right now, because he's not certain to start in the World Cup games, at least the starting few games, that debate has been put to rest and that box has been ticked. So it remains to be seen what happens in the next 2 ODIs. Action now, as I said, shifts to Indore, and the series finale will be played in Rajkot on 27th. After that, our coverage won't stop, because we'll be with you right through the 50 over World Cup, bringing you all the updates from ground zero. So stay tuned and keep watching CricketNext. Subscribe to all our social media channels, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and keep following Twitter for all the updates from the world of cricket. Thank you for watching.